Hello everyone, this is Adam with Green Mountain Aquaponics, and I wanted to take a minute to make a video to first off answer a really good question that was posted on my channel. Someone who's watching, they had a really great video. They're doing a setup of their own, they're growing, and they have some questions, and I thought, you know what, let's take a chance and answer it. So this is Ryan from Vegas. And his question was regarding using a half sand compost, covering the seeds with dirt, and using a flood tray, as well as some questions about the worms and whether or not to use them in the tray, and whether or not mixing them in the compost kills them. And I wanted to answer these questions. So as far as using sand goes, half sand, half compost, sand's really not going to be a problem. That's fine as long as it's clean sand. Again, not too much sand. You don't want a really super fine grain, but you don't want it to be aquarium gravel. Just average sand, and yes, compost works great. Worms shouldn't have, they shouldn't have too much problem with it. Again though, you might want to go more compost than sand, especially if you are using worms. That, they might find it a little rough. I use entirely compost. I don't use sand. That's just me. We'll see how your system goes. Let's see. Covering the seeds with dirt. Okay, that's going to depend on the species. Some species you really don't want to cover them with dirt. Sunflower. When I'm doing my sunflower microgreens, I really prefer to keep them clean. You see how clean that is? That's clean right there. I put the seeds on top of the dirt. Alright? I put them on top of the dirt. The secret, okay, to keeping them down without putting dirt on them so they don't just go all over the place and not put roots down into the soil, is this. Okay, now, right here. Look at this. How many trays is that stacked? 4? That's 4 trays, okay? And on top, chunk of iron to hold that lid down. Get in. Anyway, certain species you're not going to want to bury. Others, you do. Cilantro. Yeah, you need to bury that. If you don't, those seed pods, look, one way or another, those seed pods are going to rot. Okay, if you do cilantro, period. Question is, will they rot on top of the soil and kill the plant because there's fungus, or will they rot under the soil and simply decompose as the plant grows? Because that's what happens when seed pods decompose under the soil. Kale, just let it sit on top. Brown mustard, let it sit on top. Broccoli rabe, let it sit on top. Arugula, let it sit on top. Brassicas, basically, just let them sit on top. Alright, that's how you're gonna get that big, bushy look that you want, like this. Like this. You want this. You want this. Trust me. Trust me, okay? Alright, if you want to sell anything to anyone a day in your life that has to do with microgreens, food, business, or whatever, doesn't matter, if you just want to eat them, okay? Then, just put them on top of the soil, and this is what you get. Yeah, it's nice. Yummy. Yummy. Okay, don't bury them. It just doesn't work. Anyway, so yes. That was a question. Any other questions? Turning over compost. Flood tray, yes. Flood tray, I would say give them a brief dip. I water from beneath, and I do it by nesting trays. I nest a tray with holes inside of a tray without holes, and I give them about, I don't know, 1/3 of an inch, 1/4 inch, probably about a 1/4 inch, as a reservoir. But I'm not in Vegas. It's hot, it's sunny, so flood tray, you really might need a flood tray. Give it a try, but be careful of them being too wet. You don't want bacteria to build and slime to build. It's a fine balance, I'm not gonna lie, it really is. Wait till you guys see what I do to build an irrigation system. That's coming. Don't worry about it. I already know what it's going to look like. I already priced it out. It's just got to raise the money for the parts. Oh, that reminds me. Go to my GoFundMe, okay? patents and trademarks and equipment, and you know, it would be nice to get a lease on a refrigerated truck so I could really entertain some farther away markets. It's the GoFundMe, Green Mountain Aquaponics. GoFundMe. It's our pilot project to be powered by the people rather than a financial institution. You know, I'd rather do videos for you guys and give out, not give out your names, but like, give you shout outs. Just give you guys shout outs like Ryan from Vegas. I'm not going to give your last name over the internet. That's, disrespectful and such. But if you, had a company you wanted to be mentioned on our channel, or you just wanted to be mentioned as a sponsor, that's cool too. We would love some sponsors, and we very happily thank you and even send you some gifts. We can send sunflower through the mail, believe it or not. It'll keep, wrap it, little bubble wrap, ice pack. I mean, come on. Other food service companies are able to mail fresh, clean, organic produce. We can too. So, yes, the flood tray is fine. Compost, no, I turn over by hand. So my worms don't die, really. They're tougher than they look. I don't pound on them or anything, but I turn them over. I turn over my composts by hand. The worms are just fine with it. And I do put them in the tray. They're in there right now. They're in the trays. They're in there. They eat rotting things. Alright? That's what they do. They help to keep things clean, along with, nematodes and brown mites and red mites and the beneficial bacteria and microzoa. Yeah, that's why I don't use a sterile mix. I don't use a sterile mix because a sterile mix doesn't have an immune system of its own. Which means if anything gets in there bad, like a fungal spore or anything crazy, it's going to be able to just reproduce like nothing. I mean, if like one little bug laid eggs in there, they'd go crazy. All the little bugs would be everywhere. There'd be bugs everywhere. But anything that lays eggs in there, those eggs are basically turned into omelets by the immune system in the soil, which I maintain is quite robust. So, those are the questions. Thanks for the questions, Ryan. I love intelligent questions about my system, as well as questions about what you're doing, and I love to know that people at home are engaging in this all over the country, apparently, and feels good to be part of that growing community. Awesome. Very nice. So, till next time, this is Green Mountain Aquaponics. Check out the GoFundMe. Like, subscribe, share. Check us on Facebook. Alright. Peace.